I want to make sure he's still among the living after that Jaylen Brown Prince dunk. Is he okay? Is he going to show up at the Garden tonight?
You check on him?
You know what happens at the Garden. What do stars do at the Garden? Madison Square Garden, what do they do, Skip?
DNP body bag. Right?
You got your one moment. You was waiting on this for the longest.
He's been waiting. You know, it worked. It worked. We have another packed show today. Are the Cowboys beginning to panic for their Dak Prescott negotiations? And what can we expect from Zion Williamson's big NBA debut finally tonight? But first, guys, we do have to talk about the latest with Antonio Brown. Brown and his personal trainer allegedly attacked the driver of a moving truck yesterday. Brown's trainer was charged with 1 count of felony burglary and battery. Police say AB was present at the time of the incident, but they have yet to contact the former receiver to question him. The investigation is currently ongoing. So, Shannon, this is the latest with AB, and how will it impact his NFL future?
Skip, I think he's just making it hard and harder for him on himself to get back into the league. If you look at it, it's kind of like, Skip, you know, a lot of times when a person gets charged with something, they throw a whole bunch of charges. So that way, if we don't get you with something, we'll make something stick. AB, this stuff is piling up. So even if the sexual allegation thing is proven to be untrue, you've done so many other things. What is the NFL supposed to do? They're going to end up suspending you for this. Now, it says that he was present. Did he participate? You know, it's still a little, I guess he did because they're trying to make contact with him.
TMZ is reporting that the police are preparing a warrant for his arrest.
Correct.
And his trainer is already charged with felony battery and burglary, which I don't quite understand.
Did he steal the truck?
Took something from the driver of the moving truck.
Whether it is his kid's mother, she came and got some stuff and he took it out of the truck.
I don't know, but when you get charged with felony
it's a serious
battery, you beat this guy up.
Yes. Skip, look, it's one thing to be a bad teammate. Everybody's not going to be the perfect teammate. Everybody's not going to be Tom Brady and everybody like you and get along with you. But now he's engaging in criminal activity. Now, the NFL, look, there have been a lot of bad teammates in the NFL. But when you step outside of that and start engaging in this is where I think the NFL is going like, hold on, wait a minute now. Now, out of sight, Skip, right now, look, they got a centennial celebration. They're trying to do the best job they possibly can to make sure the 49ers and the Chiefs goes off in Miami without a hitch.
Yep.
Antonio Brown is the last thing on the commissioner's mind.
Correct.
But I tell you what, the first chance that he gets to sit down, he's like, okay, so this is what you've been doing. Skip, we're starting to see activity from AB coming with greater and greater regularity and with greater and greater venom.
Yep.
Now, we just saw last week this activity that took place with his kid, the mother of his kids. And we thought that was like, okay, well, how much lower can he go? And then now it's being reported that he and his trainer attacked a moving truck driver. Skip, we just talked about and we saw it on video yesterday, the Delonte West situation. I'm afraid AB is heading down a path and maybe he doesn't realize it.
Yep.
And maybe he's too close to realize it. But he's heading down a path he doesn't want to go in. And eventually there's going to be no turning back for them. And I said this last week, Skip, I don't believe he's hit rock bottom yet. He hasn't. Because you know what? The last thing football related we can remember was in December. He had a workout for the Saints. And what did they say, Skip? It was unbelievable. He caught everything. He ran tremendous routes. Therein lies why someone, even through all of this, will give him an opportunity because he's immensely talented. But AB is heading down a path, Skip. I'm afraid right now it's going to end and very badly for him. And I hate to say that, but I just wish someone can talk to him. But who's the person that can talk to him and who's the person that AB would listen to at this point?
Just after everything you just said, and I want to remind our viewers that you played this game for a long time, so you know what it's about. I covered this game for even longer than you played it. I know what it's about. I know how this league reacts. And I'm just afraid we're about to see the end of Antonio Brown because I'm pretty sure he's not going to be allowed to play football next year. There's too many. I'm about to run through just the litany of incidents, accusations, issues that he has faced off the field as well as on the field. And to me, I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this long, steady self-destruction of a fall that he is undergoing right before your very eyes, so publicly. Delonte West, it was more off camera. It was more off radar. Nobody was really following his precipitous fall.
And he wasn't chronicling it for everybody to see his precipitous fall.
Well said. This man lives on social media, and to me, he's becoming a victim, again, of social media. But the totality of this, for me, and I hope I'm not overreaching here, it's starting to feel O.J.-esque to me. Now, obviously, O.J. Simpson, most of us believe, murdered 2 people. So A.B. has not murdered anybody, though it sounds like he had a hand in beating the holy you-know-what out of this man for whatever reason we don't know.
Right.
But the totality of this, the fall from grace of an Antonio Brown who, unlike Delonte, Antonio's a superstar.
Yes.
In the heart of his prime.
Yes.
And he has a magnetic personality that can translate into beloved, where I've been around him a good bit. He's got just a billion-watt smile. He's fun to be around. So did O.J. Simpson, who I knew very well. But in A.B.'s case, he kept self-destructing in spite of falling from one great situation to another, because I just want everybody to get what's just happened. He was a superstar for the cornerstone NFL franchise, Pittsburgh Steelers, catching passes from a top 5 or 7 or 10 quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, right?
Yes.
And you can't ask for a much better situation because all they did was throw it. It was the flying circus featuring Antonio Brown, right?
Yes.
And that self-destructed, and I'm going to run through that in just a second, but he landed right on his feet with the Oakland Raiders heading toward Las Vegas.
And a guy that loved him. John Gruden.
Loved him.
When John Gruden was member,
84. You're going to lead this league in energy, we saw in Hard Knocks, right? They gave him a big new deal on top of the deal that you said Pittsburgh shouldn't give him in 2016, and they did.
Yep.
And then after Pittsburgh made him the highest paid wide receiver, Oakland said, we'll double down on that. We're going to also once again make him the highest paid receiver. Yep. Boom. He comes in a hot air balloon, and then you know the rest of the story. We'll run through that in just a second. But the point is, he had it in the palms of his hands.
Yes.
And then after self-destructing there, he winds up with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. And Brady embraces him via social media. I love this guy.
Yep.
I've got my guy, and here we go. And it was week 2, September 15th, that he played for Tom Brady back in Antonio's hometown of Miami.
Correct.
Site of this year's Super Bowl. We'll be there next week. And I'm thinking at that point, here come the Patriots. Brady finally got his next Randy Moss.
Right.
And at that point, the defense looked so good and the offense looked just about as good as ever that I'm thinking, Miami, here they come.
Right.
I'm thinking we're going to see them back in Miami.
Right.
And I would suggest to you, and we'll never know the end of this, if Antonio could have stayed afloat with the New England Patriots, that they would have at least made it to the AFC Championship game. And I believe it would have been at home, probably against Patrick Mahomes and company.
Probably right.
I don't know if they could have won it or not, but with AB, I would have given him a shot.
Yes.
He would have changed everything on an offense that became pathetic to watch, obviously, because Edelman became a broken down shell of himself. He had surgery yesterday on his shoulder. But the point was, Antonio would have changed life in New England.
And then what happened?
But guess what? What if they had at least made it to the AFC Championship game? Then does Tom Brady finish out his career with New England? does the dynasty sort of stay intact? I believe the end of the Patriots dynasty as we knew it was about 3 days after the game that he played.
Right.
And you know what happened? He sent a threatening text to his second accuser of
That
sexual.
Thursday.
Yes. And Robert Kraft said, okay, that's too much even for me, because they've had a long history of trying troubled players in
Rehab,
New England,
yes.
right? But they said, okay, we're out there.
Right.
And then Antonio immediately via social media burned that bridge because he took a shot at Robert Kraft.
Right.
So he had the Steelers, the Raiders, and the Patriots here, and how about here?
Take our money.
You can have it.